Chapter 20, Marriage. Surah 25, Ayat 54. And he it is who has created man from the water and has made for him blood relationship and marriage relationship. Surah 24, Ayat 32. And marry those among you who are single. Surah 2, Ayat 232. And do not prevent them, the divorced women, from marrying their husbands when they agree among themselves in a lawful manner. Surah 4, Ayat 21. And they, your wives, have made with you a firm covenant. Surah 7, 889. He it is who created you from a single being, and from the same kind did he make his mate, that he might incline to her. Surah 7, 889. And one of his signs is that he created mates for you from yourselves, that you may find quiet of mind in them, and he put between you love and compassion. I say Surah 30, 821. Surah 42, 811. He made mates for you among yourselves, ... multiplying you thereby. Surah 5, 8-5. And the chaste from among the believing women, and the chaste from among those who have been given the book for you or lawful for you, when you have given them their dowries, taking them in marriage, not fornicating, nor taking them for paramours in secret. Surah 4, Ayat 23 and 24. Forbidden to you are your mothers and your daughters and your sisters and your paternal aunts and your maternal aunts and your brothers' daughters and your sisters' daughters and your mothers that have suckled you and your foster sons and your foster sisters and mothers of your wives and your stepdaughters who are in your guardianship, born of your wives to whom you have gone in. But if you have not gone in to them, there is no blame on you and the wives of your sons who are of your own loins, that you should have two sisters together, except what is already passed, ... and all married women except those whom your right hand possesses. Because like if somebody flees their disbelieving husband, they're no longer lawful, that sort of thing. And the same sort of thing is interpreted, of course, also from the female side, the sons and the brothers, and Surah 4, 8-4. And give women their dowries as a free gift, but if they of themselves be pleased to give you a portion of them, then eat it with enjoyment and with wholesome result. Surah 4, 8-20. And you have given one of them a heap of gold, take not from it anything. Surah 4, 8-24. There's no blame on you about that which you mutually agree upon after what is appointed of dowry. Surah 4, 8-3. And if you fear that you cannot act equitably towards orphans, marry such women as seem good to you, 2 and 3 and 4. But if you fear that you will not do justice between them, then marry only one, or what your right hand possesses. Surah 4, 8-25. And whoever among you has not within his power ampleness of means to marry free believing women, he may marry of those whom your right hand possesses from among your believing maidens. So marry them with the permission of their masters and give them dowries justly. An Arabic word for marriage is nikah, which means originally aqd, or uniting. It is recognized in Islam as the basis of human society, and marriage relationship is given the same importance as blood relationship. Celibate life, it's against the teachings of the Holy Quran, which requires every Muslim to live in a married state. If you can find a good spouse. Some people don't get the option. Castration is forbidden. Marriage is a sacred contract which a man and a woman enter into by mutual agreement. It is a contract entered into for life. Temporary marriage being forbidden, it serves a double purpose, being the means of the moral uplift of man and the means of multiplication of the human race. Marriage may be contracted with a non-Muslim woman. It is prohibited within certain degrees of relationship. The rule is the marriage of one man with one woman, each but in acceptable cases, a man may marry up to 4 women. But can they marry them at the same time? Is that the thing? I mean, you can be married to multiple women at the same time, but marriage with slave girls was allowed in case a man had not the means to marry a free woman. It's not forced marriage, by the way. Marriage should be preceded by a proposal. It is recommended that before making a proposal, a man should satisfy himself as to the desirability of the match. The guardian must obtain the woman's consent. Where a woman was given in marriage by her father and she disliked the match, the marriage was annulled. Marriage among equals is recommended, but all Muslimin being equal, there is no limitation as to the choice of the mate. Nobility of character is the most valuable gift of a woman, which should be taken into consideration in marrying her. A dowry must be settled upon the woman, there being no limitation as to the amount. It may be increased or decreased by mutual consent after marriage. Any conditions may be laid down at the time of marriage, so long as they are not against the law of Islam. Shigar is prohibited. The marriage must be publicly proclaimed, and it is recommended that it should be held in a public place and announced with the beat of a duff, a musical instrument. The contract is sanctified by a sermon before the parties announce their acceptance. Gatherings on the occasion of marriage are also a means of making it publicly known. Music is allowed at the marriage ceremony. Gifts may also be given on this occasion. A feast is recommended when the bride comes to the husband's house. Prayer to God for divine blessings is recommended at the first meeting of the husband and the wife. Birth control is allowed when it becomes a necessity. When a baby is born, a adhan must be called out into its ears, and naming of the tahnik follows. Aqiqah must also be performed if one can afford it. Al-Qama said, when I was going along with Abdullah, he said, we were with the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and he said, who is able to marry should marry, for it keeps the eye cast down and keeps a man chaste, and he who cannot should take to fasting, for it will have a castrating effect upon him. I don't think that's quite how you literally translate it, but Ibn Masud said, we used to fight along with the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and we had not our wives with us, so we said, may we not castrate, O Messenger of Allah, and he forbade us doing so. Said said, the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, repudiated Uthman ibn Mazun's remaining celibate, and if he had permitted him, we would have been emasculated. Ali reported the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, forbade temporary marriage with women and the eating of domestic donkeys on the day of Khaybar. But you see from the wider variation, the eating of the donkeys and the horses was actually not forbidden in whole. It was that these people had stopped in the middle of the siege and, started killing the animals and eating them when they didn't have permission. So they broke their vessels, something that you don't have to do with the haram food. So that's a further indication that maybe that's the thing. But the Quran limits the forbidden things, and donkeys and horses are not applicable to those verses. Aisha reported, in the pre-Islamic times, marriage was in 4 ways, one of these being as the people's marriage today, a man asking another man for marriage with his ward or his daughter, and then he settles on her a dowry and then marries her. In other words, he's in charge of the daughter, and I'd like you to marry my daughter, that sort of thing. The Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, when one of you asks a woman in marriage, then, if he's able, that he should look into what invites him to have her in marriage, he should do it. Mughira reported, he made a proposal of marriage to a woman, and the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, see her, for this is more likely to bring about agreement between you. Abu Hurairah reported, the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, The widow shall not be married until she is consulted, and the virgin shall not be married until her consent be obtained. They said, O messenger of Allah, how shall her consent be obtained? He said, it is sufficient that she remains silent. Khansa reported her father gave her away in marriage, and she was thayyib, and she did not like it. So she came to the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and he annulled her marriage. Aisha said, the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, select fit women in respect of character for your seed and marry your equals and give your daughters in marriage to them. You know, as in encourage your daughters to marry people that you would consider to be one who could stand the same character as you, that sort of thing. Or I mean, to at least that degree or something. Don't discourage them from marrying somebody that's obviously worse character, you know. Abu Hurairah reported the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, a woman is married on account of four things: on account of her wealth, on account of her family, and her beauty, and on account of her character. So attain success with the one possessing nobility of character. Oh, wait, that's number 4. Uqba said, the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, the conditions which are most worthy that you should fulfill are those with which you legalize sexual relations. Ibn Umar reported, the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, forbade shagar, and shagar is that a man gives his daughter in marriage to another man on condition that the latter shall give his daughter in marriage to him, neither of them paying dowry. And there's other things that, yeah. And there's also forced marriage instead of that you have, you know, instead of blood money or also, you know, but I'll marry your daughter. The dowries for the women. So what the men do, that's whatever. And the bridal price, the man charging another man to marry his wife, his daughter, or other family member. That's obviously not his wife, but you know, yeah. Aisha said, the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, make the marriage publicly known and perform it in the mosques and beat at it with a duff. Now, you know, you don't play the duff and you don't play the drum in the masjid, but Surah 8:35. But a lot of the masjids don't, unless you make it a legal marriage you know, it can be a legal contract without being labeled as a legal marriage from the state. But an Islamically valid marriage isn't always allowed in the masjid, and sometimes some of the places actually may charge you know, when you just want to get together and get fulfill the terms of the marriage, you shouldn't have to pay the imam or a rental fee to the masjid in order to do this, you know. Abdullah said, the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, taught us the marriage sermon, which is thus: all praise is due to Allah, we beseech him for help, and we ask for his protection, and we seek refuge in him from the mischiefs of our souls. Whomsoever Allah guides, there is none who can lead him astray, and whomsoever Allah finds in error, there is none to guide him. And I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his servant and his messenger. O you who believe, be careful of your duty to Allah, by whom you demand one of another your rights, and to the ties of relationship. Surely Allah watches over you. O you who believe, be careful of your duty to Allah with the care which is due to him, and do not die unless you're Muslimin. O you who believe, be careful of your duty to Allah and speak the right word. He would put for you your deeds into a right state and forgive you your faults, and whoever obeys Allah and his messenger, he indeed achieves a mighty success. And Allah said, the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, saw women and children coming for a wedding. So the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, stood up erect and said, O Allah, you are the most loved of all to me. He said this 3 times. Aisha said, she conducted the bride to a man from among the Ansar, and the Prophet of Allah, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, O Aisha, Why had you no music with you? For the Ansar love music. Well, everybody loves music in one sort or another, but Anas said, the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, had Zainab conducted to him on the occasion of his marriage with her. So Sulaim said to me, what if we send a present to the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him? I said to her, do it. So she took dates and butter and cheese and made a preparation, mingling them in a cooking pot, and sent me with it to him. I then went with it to him, and he said, place it. Anas said, Zainab bint Josh was conducted as a bride to the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and bread and meat were served, and I was sent to invite the people to the feast. A party came and had the meal, then went out, and another party came and had the meal and went out. I went on thus inviting until I could not find any one whom I should invite. Ibn Umar reported, the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, when one of you is invited to a marriage feast, he should go to it. Ibn Abbas said, carrying it back, the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, who said, if one of you, when he goes into his wife, should say, in the name of Allah, O Allah, Bismillah, Allahumma, A'udhu Billahi minash I don't remember. Ward off from us the devil, and ward off the devil from that which thou grantest us. Then offspring is decreed for them, the devil will not harm it. Jabir said, we used to resort to Azal in the time of the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and the Quran was then being revealed. So something that doesn't, it's something that either that blocks the semen, or they pull out, or which is less effective than that. But and he said, "What do you do it?" He said, "This thrice. There's no soul that is not to be till the day of resurrection, but it will come into life." Abu Rafi said, "I saw the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, calling out adhan, the prayer call, for prayer, in the ear of Hassan ibn Ali when Fatima gave birth to him." Abu Musa said, "A son was born to me, and I brought him to the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. He named him Ibrahim, and he chewed a date and rubbed thereby his palate and prayed for blessing for him and gave him back to me." Salam ibn Amir said, "I heard the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, say, in the case of the boy is akika, so pour blood for him and remove from him the uncleanliness." They give him a haircut and they wash him off and all that. And it's not narrated that the Prophet actually taught the circumcision, but certain cultural practices have seeped in that were rumored to have occurred before that, so people just associated it with that. But they slaughter an animal and the animal is eaten. The sacrifices to God, but the people eat the sacrifice. I heard the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings. Kurz said, "I heard the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, say, in the case of a boy, 2 goats, and in the case of a girl, 1 goat should be sacrificed." Ibn Abbas said, "The messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, sacrificed a ram, each in the case of Hassan and Hussein." Now, when somebody hits puberty, they become, they start earning for themselves, or they can. So you see the logic there, and the male inheriting twice the portion because they're the providers for the female. But the female, her needs are supposed to be provided for her, especially regardless.